Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. We're stressed out.
7:35 on TSN 690. It is Weekend Game Plan with Matthew Ross. We are here until 9 o'clock. Still to come this program. Just after 8 o'clock, we'll have Habs Breakfast. Dan Robertson, play-by-play man of TSN 690, will join us and on the line. And then in studio, it'll be Amanda Stein as we'll talk some Montreal Canadiens. Will take on the Colorado Avalanche tonight at the Bell Center. Calvin Pickard getting the start for the Avs. So Varlamov maybe on his way out of being a starter for the Colorado Avalanche. Right now, though, we will talk some football with the assistant general manager of the Montreal Alouettes, talk a little Owls, and some NFL as well, some big games this weekend in the NFL. We welcome to the program Joey Abrams. Hey, Joey, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Matt. How are you?
I'm very well. Thanks for taking the time today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Now, are you up doing things? You kind of still relaxing at home? What are you up to?
This morning is just kind of a relaxing day. My son woke up in his requisite 6:30 time slot, so that's when we're usually up and around the house. So we're just kind of sitting here. My wife and my daughter are still asleep, so nice relaxing Saturday morning. Got hockey a little bit later on.
Cartoons for him?
Yeah, he's a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, I think it's called.
All right. I got two daughters, so that's foreign to me.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I got a 2-year-old daughter who's on the way.
Okay. Well, it gets better. Maybe, maybe in a few months you'll get sleep until like 7:30. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be amazing.
All right, we're talking some football here on the program. Now, we got to ask you, we saw some reports this week that we know you can't say too much, but we saw some reports this week that you were being considered for the GM job with the Alouettes. Other reports say that you weren't. Can you comment on that at all?
Because I'm in a little bit of a different situation than other people that are in the same vein of the news, I cannot. They're unsubstantiated rumors because our club hasn't commented on anything, so I can't comment on rumors. That's been our club policy, so that's kind of the situation that I'm in.
All right. In terms of, you're not a name that a lot of people might know in this town, just in terms of media exposure. You've been with the Alouettes for, I think it's about a dozen years now, working your way up, starting, I guess, as an intern and all the way up to where you are now. What are you most proud of working with the Alouettes?
Wow. There's been a few things. I mean, obviously the 2 Grey Cups were unbelievable. 2009 with the 13th man game, the blood pressure game, as I like to refer to it. That and the parade, I think were probably the most memorable. Seeing all those people line the streets of Montreal and cheering for the club, and that was really special. That would probably have to be the thing that most stands out in my mind over the course of the 11, almost 12 years since I've been with the club.
We're chatting with Joey Abrams, the assistant general manager of the Montreal Alouettes, Matthew Ross, and Dave Trentadue here in studio. Weekend Game Plan with Matthew Ross. All right, elsewhere, let's talk some NFL. You're an NFL watcher as well. Some key games this week. We're getting later into the season now. A lot of folks are going to be listening here on TSN 690 tomorrow night. Dallas versus the Giants. I'm not sure if you have an NFL club. I'm a Broncos fan, so I don't have a horse in that race. So hey, that's a good pun right there. Broncos, get it? But the Giants actually beat Dallas earlier this season, and they roll into town on a revenge tour, so to speak, with only one loss on the year, and now they're trying to avenge it against the Giants. How impressed have you been with the Cowboys this year?
Very. It all starts up front with those guys. I mean, you watch these holes that are being ripped open for Ezekiel Elliott, and he's just able to take advantage of them. And they're not playing outside of their scheme. I mean, the quarterback, Dak Prescott. I mean, he's able to sit back there, take his time. He's shown remarkable poise for being so young in the face of those pass rushes, at the NFL level. But again, that offensive line is giving him time to throw the ball, and he's making the right decisions. So full points to them offensively. Defensively, they've been very strong as well. So I have a lot of friends in the Giants organization, so I can't see it going well for them, unfortunately, because I think Dallas is just it's going to take a lot to stop those guys. They're looking very, very impressive.
Yeah, Jason Pierre-Paul, defensive end for the Giants, out now, and so that's a huge, huge loss for the Giants. The story of Dak Prescott is just so impressive. A late fourth-round pick, and reportedly, I was watching the Chiefs and Oakland game this week, and they reminded folks that Prescott was not the first choice in that round by the Cowboys, that they reportedly wanted Connor Cook, who's now with the Raiders as a third stringer, not even dressing for games. And so they certainly lucked out with Prescott. Was that ever a situation that fortuitously happened for the Alouettes, Joey, in the Canadian draft that you guys have, where maybe you wanted a guy, you couldn't get him, you ended up picking somebody else, and he really, really worked out? Do you have a recollection of something like that happening?
No, I don't remember anything like that happening per se, but there's been a couple of times where you sit on the edge of your seat because you have a guy on the board that you want to come down to you. And, over the course of a few years, I think it might have been 2010, if I remember correctly, we were able to select Ryan Bomben late in the draft. And I think it was the third or fourth round. Same round. We were really happy with that. And it happened again, I believe, in 2012 when Michael Clausen slipped down, and we had him pegged. So those are two guys that we were very happy with. Obviously, Ryan now over in Hamilton, but, we were able to ascertain some quality draft picks for, a later round draft pick in Ryan.
Just chatting with Joey Abrams, assistant GM with the Montreal Alouettes here on Weekend Game Plan with Matthew Ross. Elsewhere, another game we'll have on TSN 690 tomorrow at 4 o'clock, Seattle versus Green Bay. Boy, the Packers have really been searching for that identity, particularly at home. They just don't have the running game right now to help out Aaron Rodgers. Meanwhile, Seattle's got Thomas Rawls back at running back, and that's going to help them, but they lost a linebacker this week to a broken leg. So how do you see that matchup tomorrow?
I think both of these teams are starting to hit their strides a little bit. I think you're going to hear a little bit more from Green Bay, and I think they're going to potentially challenge Detroit for the division championship. But Seattle, I believe they've allowed the least amount of points in the league, and I think they're going to continue in that role. They're going to be really, really tough to beat. Russell Wilson's looking more like Russell Wilson of 2014. I don't see how Seattle can lose this game, and I'm not sure if Seattle's going to lose too much more down the stretch either.
Just wrapping up with Joey Abrams from the Montreal Alouettes. All right, so give us your. We're in the final quarter of the season now in the NFL. Do you have your favorites in each conference?
I do. The NFC East is obviously the Dallas's division. The NFC West, like I said, Seattle, I think, is going to run away with that division. The NFC North is going to be interesting. I think Green Bay is going to make a push for that, but I think Detroit is going to come away. They have one more head-to-head matchup. I think it's in Week 16. The winner of that game is going to have a big heads-up in how that division's handled, but I think that's going to be Detroit's division. The NFC South is probably the most interesting division. I have a soft spot for the Buccaneers. I always have. Jason Light's a friend of mine, the general manager down there. Atlanta Falcons got that Canadian GM too, though, so it's a tough one. But I like the Buccaneers there because they're on a big roll. They've won the last 4 games. I think they may come out of there as the champions. In the AFC, New England. The only other team that's won the division, I think, since 2002 is Miami, and they're in second place, but they're not going to win the division. So that's New England's division to win. The AFC West is the toughest division of football, in my opinion. I think Kansas City, now that they've had the head-to-head matchup with the Raiders, is probably going to win that division, although it's not a sure bet. The Raiders are definitely going to be in the playoffs in some facet with the Chiefs. The Broncos are going to be in a little bit of trouble here. I know you're asking for division championships, but the Broncos play New England, the Chiefs, and the Raiders down the stretch. So I'm not sure if they're going to be a playoff team with those games. They're going to have a lot of good quarterback play from Simeon. The AFC North, I like the Steelers. I'm just not sold on the Ravens, but the Ravens are one of those teams that you don't get sold on and then they keep winning.
Yep.
But I like the Steelers. I like a healthy Ben Roethlisberger. And the AFC South, again, I got a friend in that, 2 friends in that conference, close friends. I like Tennessee. I think they're starting to play the better football. Marcus Mariota's getting a little bit older, a little bit wiser, making better decisions with the football. I think they're going to come away with that. And if it's not them, I think it'll be Houston. But I think those are going to be the teams that are going to win those divisions.
He is Joey Abrams of the Montreal Alouettes. You can follow him actually on Twitter at Joey_Abrams. Well, enjoy the rest of the day. Good luck at hockey today, I guess, right? And enjoy the NFL games tomorrow.
Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it.